Hi, my name is Alicia, and I would like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. So this is my very first video, and I'm hoping the videos will get better as time progresses, so just bear with me. I wanted to start recording videos pretty much based on career and professional development. So the majority of my videos will talk about tips for resume writing, cover letter writing, interview prep, and pretty much all things related to career and professional development. This first video I want to talk about is tips for your resume. And what I want to do with the resume videos is kind of break them up because your resume has sections. And so I want to break each video up into sections. So for this first video, it's going to be really brief, but I'm going to talk about your personal heading. So a lot of people think that the first impression that they have with an employer is the phone interview or the in-person interview. That is totally incorrect. The first impression is them reviewing your resume and your cover letter, because that's the only information that they have about you in regards to making a decision whether or not they like you good enough to invite you for a phone interview or an in-person interview. So you want to make sure that your resume and your cover letters are on point, there are no grammatical errors, no spelling errors, and that your formatting looks great. So to start with the tips for today, again, I want to start with the personal heading. So the personal heading is very important because it provides your contact information, lets them know who you are and how they can reach you if they want to. So your personal heading starts at the beginning of your resume. It's your very first section, so it will be at the top of your resume. You would start with your name. So your name, you would want it to be in large font, at least 16. You can go higher than that if you'd like, but I play around with it just based on the rest of the format of your document. So your font should also be bolded because you want it to pop, you want it to stand out. Underneath your name, you want to include your phone number. So a lot of people have landlines as well as cell phone numbers. I would include the one that is the most accurate and the one that you can be reached on the most. So if that's your cell phone number, I'd include the cell phone number. Also include your email address. I've seen some resumes and they don't have an email address included. That's not a good sign. Make sure to include your email address. 9 times out of 10, the employer is going to want to call you or email you. Make sure your email address is a professional email address. So something like maybe your first name, last name at whatever.com, or first initial, last name at whatever.com, or anything you can think of that is professional. Please do not use an email address that you would be ashamed for an employer to read. And then also underneath your name, you can include, if you have a LinkedIn page and you feel good about it, you can include your LinkedIn page URL, and there's a way through LinkedIn you can shorten that URL so it's not this long running URL. And if you have a web page or website, you can include the address for that. Your actual physical address is not required. I would say it's optional. No one is really going to mail you anything. If, like I said before, if they want to contact you, it'll be through phone or through email. So if you want to include location, city, and state, is fine, or you can leave that out altogether. So just as a recap, your personal heading should have your name, your phone number, your email address, and then optional can be LinkedIn or a web page address, or the location, which would be city and state. So those are resume tips starting with your personal heading. Stay tuned, and I'll provide some more tips later on in regards to the remaining sections of your resume. Bye. Have a good evening.